Hey there, entrepreneur. My name is Neil Thacker, and I have a really important message for you. If you're in e-commerce, a coach, you're in trucking, the beauty business, you own a shop, whatever it may be, you're a hard-working entrepreneur that feels like you've been overlooked and underserved by traditional banks, and essentially you've tried to get capital to grow and scale your business, and you couldn't. Well, guess what? It's time to change that. I'm here to, number one, share my story on how I went from rock bottom, losing my business, destroying my credit score, to learning the ins and outs of how to fix it, partnering up with someone who's raised over $100 million of 0% interest capital for thousands of businesses, the roadmap on how to do it exactly for your business. So look, as the hardworking business owner that you are, you're struggling because you have a great idea that's either ready to take off or that has some traction but keeps struggling. Why? Because of poor cash flow and maybe even poor credit. And maybe you've been rejected by the banks when trying to get capital, or you've tried to go to investors and you've been denied. But ultimately, your dreams are still big and you know there's a better way. Perhaps you stay up at night worrying about making payroll, or
keeping the lights on in your business,
or providing for your family. And if that's you, I understand, because I've been there, and it's time to change that. So look, at this point, you might be skeptical right now, and that's okay. You've been promised a world before. Maybe you've taken out some predatory merchant cash advances, but ultimately, you've been let down and you've not gotten the capital that you need. But please, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm gonna share something that could and likely will genuinely change your life. This isn't a gimmick, this isn't hype. This is a real, proven, replicatable system to help you get access to 0% interest capital, and it's something that I wish I had when I was in your shoes. So let me start with a quick story, my story, because I was once exactly where you were, someone who had no access to capital and literally just couldn't scale my business no matter how hard I tried. A few years ago, I hit rock bottom. I had poured my heart into a business, but things didn't go as planned. It actually had a good deal of revenue and a good deal of profit, but ultimately a couple mistakes happened. I lost hundreds of thousands of dollars overnight, and I had to file bankruptcy. Now, I remember sitting in the courtroom hearing that word because I never thought that it was going to be me, right? But unfortunately, it was, and I felt ashamed. I felt crushed. I felt like I let myself down. But even worse, my credit was destroyed. And so I was at a point where I knew I was an entrepreneur at my core. I knew that that's what I had to do, but I couldn't get any capital, not even a credit card to start my business. So I was at a loss, and I knew that for me, getting a job, working around the clock to then support that business wasn't gonna work. I needed capital. So what did I do? Well, I had two choices. Number one, I could give up, which of course, that's not what I did. And number two is I could put my head down and I could figure out how to make this work. Now, at the time, little did I know that this moment, that this decision to keep going and saying, hey, I'm gonna figure this out, was actually going to be pivotal to my comeback story and pivotal to the way now I can help you with my incredible team. So like I said, bankruptcy was not the end of my story. In fact, it was just the beginning of a comeback. What I did was I dove into credit repair. I dove into learning the credit system, and I actually met my current business partner, and he taught me everything that I needed to know because he's somebody that's actually helped thousands of business owners raise over $100 million of funding. And with my obsessive, when I say obsessive, I mean months and months of obsessive research in understanding the credit system and understanding how banks and how lenders actually give funds, understanding the underwriting process, really working with my current business partner to fix my credit over time and then get me funding. Well, guess what ended up happening? I ended up raising $350,000 of 0% interest capital that I then deployed, where I now have the financial freedom that I've always dreamed of and that I know that you dreamed of as well. And one other decision that I had made at the time was I said that if I actually ever do figure this credit and funding system out, I was absolutely gonna help others with it and share it with the world. And that's what I'm here to do. So let's talk about the harsh reality. Because once again, you've probably went out there, tried to get investor money, maybe tried to go to a bank and get a loan or get some 0% interest credit cards, and you weren't able to do it. Well, why is that? Well, check this out. Big banks only approve 14 to 20% of businesses that apply for business funding. So that's 80% plus of people do not get business funding. In fact, they did a survey and over 52% of business owners don't ever get a single dime of external capital, meaning over half the people that start a business who need capital don't end up ever getting a dime of capital during the life cycle of their business. Everything is completely bootstrapped, meaning that every dollar that gets poured into their business was earned by their business. And while there is so much nobility to that, and there's so much to clap for the entrepreneurs that do bootstrap and make it, aren't there some businesses where external capital is necessary? Don't you deserve that capital as a hard-working business person who's taking on the risk, who's providing jobs for others? Don't you deserve that? I certainly think that you do, and getting access to external capital has changed my life in more ways than I can even count. The last stat I want to share with you is that close to 30%, 29% of businesses fail because of lack of cash and capital. And let me guess, you did not start your business to fail because of lack of capital. You started your business to make money. You started your business to create jobs, to impact the world, to put products out that you love, and ultimately have full control over your financial future. And so why would we let a lack of capital stop you? At this point, we're no longer gonna let that be a reason, because my partner and I have a proven system on how to get you 50 to 250K of 0% interest capital. Yes, 0% interest capital. So how do we do it? Well, it comes down to a 4-step process. Step number 1 is a strategic analysis of your credit profile. So in order for us to get you this 0% interest capital, we need to have a strong credit profile. Your credit profile is basically a representation to the lenders and the banks of how lendable you actually are. Meaning if the banks say, hey, I'm gonna give you $100,000, well, they wanna know that they're gonna get their $100,000 back. Of course, makes sense. But here's the good news, is that we have a team of experts that will help you repair your credit. Now, there are so many scams, there are so many gimmicky credit repair companies out there, and we are not one of them. In fact, we're not a credit repair company at all. That is just a small part of the service that we provide. However, in order for us to present you as someone who's super lendable to the banks, we need to first fix what's broken. So if there's any bankruptcies, if there's any late payments, there's any derogatories, any negative marks on your credit report, well, our team will facilitate the process in making sure that that gets fixed. We make sure that we clean up any negative items, any negative marks to raise that credit score. Now, the next step, step number 2, is credit optimization. Some people, by the way, don't need step 1 because they don't have any negative marks on their credit report, but most people, like 90% plus, need the second step, which is the credit optimization. This is where not only do we have your credit report repaired, but we now optimize it so that when we present it to lenders, you look super lendable. Now, how we precisely do that
is quite intricate,
quite involved, but ultimately there are certain techniques that we use and we work together with you in order to optimize your credit profile so you look like someone who can handle a good deal of credit. Step number 3, and this is the fun part, is the strategic application process. We apply with different lenders in a very particular order, in a very particular way, in a very consolidated period of time, so that multiple lenders are reviewing your optimized credit profile simultaneously, concurrently, which then leads us to step 4, approvals and allocation. What's gonna happen is in the span of just a few days, you're gonna get a bunch of approvals. Approval here from this lender, approval there from that lender, maybe a bank gives you an approval. Ultimately, we're gonna stack it so that you have multiple approvals at 0% interest that will be at least 50K, all the way up to 250,000 in 0% interest funding guaranteed. I'll say it again, you'll get 50K of 0% interest funding, all the way up to 250K in 0% interest capital. It's absolutely incredible. And at this point now, we not only get you the funds, we don't just get you the money and say sayonara, but we actually help you allocate it in the right way. From the onset, we come up with a game plan. We help you say, hey, look, this is what needs to happen as far as the credit repair. This is what needs to happen as far as the credit optimization. This is what your business is about. These are the parameters of the company. This is exactly what you're trying to do. And then we help you take that capital and allocate it in the best way possible. So that you don't just have a bag of money that you don't know what to do with it, but we help you get exactly how much you need and know how to use it in a way that's gonna set you up for exponential, logarithmic, crazy success. And that's our goal here. Now, another quick point that I'd like to say is this isn't just a one and done. We're here to form a relationship with you. We're here to serve you, your family, and your friends. And so when you get that first round of capital, well, we're not done there. We want to see you thrive. We want to see you use that capital in the right way. We want to see you grow and then come back to us for another round. We want to help you get funded and we want to grow with you. So as your business grows, we want to help you get more and more capital. That's what we're here to do at Integrity First Funding, is build a relationship and empower you, the entrepreneur, to fund and fuel the growth of your business so you can achieve the financial freedom and the financial prosperity that you deserve. Now let me ask you something. Just close your eyes real quick if you'd like. What would $100,000 or $150,000 of 0% interest funding do for you and your business right here, right now? What would you do? Would you buy inventory? Would you hire that new employee? Would you hire that assistant? Would you launch a marketing campaign? Would you get a new truck? Would you buy a rental property? What would you do with 100, 150K, maybe even 200K of 0% interest financing? Well, the answer is a heck of a lot, right? And let me ask you something else. What would that do in terms of propelling your business forward? I'm guessing that it would create exponential growth for you. I'm guessing it would relieve so much pressure. I'm guessing it would help you get your business to a point where it's self-sustaining and wildly profitable. I'm guessing that it would help you create systems so that you can step away from your business a little bit. You can work a little bit less, and when you do work, you can have a lot more productive output because you have some rest. It'll help you convert your business from where it's at now to something totally different, something totally better. And might I say, the business that you've always dreamed of? Okay, so if you close your eyes, go ahead and open your eyes. And let me tell you that that reality is on the other side of a call that you book with us. So I don't want to keep you too much longer. And I just want you to know that my partner has helped over 1,000 businesses raise close to $100 million of capital. I've gone through this process myself many times. And here at Integrity First, we're a group of experts that care, that want to walk with you side by side, hand in hand, to fund your dream business. So now, what's the catch? Well, here's the deal. We're super dedicated to helping you get that funding. We need you to meet us halfway. This is a combined done for you, done with you product, meaning some parts of it we do for you, some parts of it we consult and coach you to do yourself. When we give you action items, we expect them to get done ASAP. Why? Because we are super excited about getting you funded, and we want you to be just as excited and just as committed to us in that process. That being said, a couple other common questions I would like to answer. Number one is it really 0%? The answer is yes. Banks and lenders want to form a relationship with you. And so they want to extend out capital at a very low, or better yet, in this case, a non-existent interest rate, so that they can see exactly what you do with their money. And then as your business grows, they want to extend more capital and credit out to you. And so yes, this really is 0% interest for 12 months. The next question that I oftentimes get is this some type of loan shark or predatory loan or merchant cash advance? And the answer is absolutely not. I've personally been burned by those before, and this is not that. In fact, this is the opposite. Whereas MCAs, merchant cash advances, what they're gonna do is they're gonna give you capital at such a high interest rate with such terrible payback terms that the only way for you to actually be able to pay it back to them is for you to borrow more and then get in this hamster wheel, and then borrow more and get into a hamster wheel. And so if that's you, and so number one, I'm sorry. Number two is we can absolutely help you. And number three is we are not an MCA. We're the opposite. We have 0% interest funding, not those crazy 40% interest funding with daily payments or weekly payments. We are not a predatory funding source. We help you get access to some of the shares and best types of capital that there is. So with that being said, we've had clients who have gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars, and their lives have been changed because they finally got the lifeblood, they finally got the fuel source, they finally got the capital that they needed to scale their business. And I want that to be you. Getting 0% interest funding has changed my life and has changed the lives of so many people that I know and so many of our customers here at Integrity First. And so with that being said, there's no need to think about it. There's no need to let doubt overcome the excitement that you have right now. And yes, I know you may be skeptical. So what's the worst that can happen, right? Schedule a call and talk to either myself or an expert on my team. And worst case, you get a ton of value on how the credit system works and how you can actually get funding from the banks instead of getting denied. And the best case is we decide to partner together, we decide to work together, and we make that conscious choice together to get you the capital you need so that you can scale your business, to get you the funding that you need so that you can change your business into exactly what you dream of, so that we can work together and we can finally get you off the hamster wheel from struggling with poor credit and tight cash flow to thriving, not just surviving, and growing and scaling your business into exactly what you wish it to be. So with that being said, what I want you to do is click the link either above or below this video, select a time to speak to either myself or someone on my team to get you funded and to growing your business into exactly what you've always dreamed of. I'll see you on the other side.